Well, this man, Gaetan VIGE, will be the next to drop.
Gaetan's been here a lot of years, hasn't he? He's raced Hardline a lot.
He has. He had a 9th here in 2019, an 8th the year before that.
And it's good to see like this kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, if you will.
Getting a bit of advice from G-Man.
I wonder what he's saying.
So the course is clear, and Gaetan, I believe he was yesterday on Jackson Goldstone's spare bike. His bike not making it here, which is incredible to tackle.
Really?
Yeah, can you imagine that off the side of that drop at the top then?
Just making it a bit harder for himself with his borrowed bike.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. 24 years old, this man. A regular World Cup racer. He's up by nearly 2 seconds.
He's just had a bit of an issue coming out of that sort of compression out of that turn.
This is catching him out up here. A crucial section, as I said. Historically, a top 3 at split 1. If you're not top 3 at split 1, you will not win Hardline.
But if you kind of, the harder you push, almost the worse it is. You've got it's a real fine balance to carry that speed.
Yeah, exactly. And they're pushing everywhere. 0.16, bang! No way, an underflip! A massive underflip!
Well, that went as good as it could have gone with a crash on that.
VIGE throwing it out there.
I remember him doing that a couple of years ago, actually.
Yeah, he did. That's
but that was like a pretty smooth crash.
Yeah.
Not John O. Jones, that with his fish upside down.
The Scorpion King. No one will ever forget that.
And that's why Hardline's so good, because some riders, they know they're not here for the win, and if it's going wrong, they'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't see a backflip in a World Cup.
No.
There's no jumps big enough.
No, that's right. So, heading on down now, Gaetan VIGE.
Oh, you just see how hard he's landing off that, and pretty much locked up all the way down this straight into that turn.
It's so steep, and actually the run-in to the drop-off is incredibly
so
steep as well, yeah. And that's why the ramp was changed, actually.
Because the course used to go around that drop, kind of down a rock garden.
Horrible. There was a horrible drop in there.
Yeah.
I remember it.
And every year it's just getting more and more gnarly, really.
Yeah. Big pull off there, makes it nicely. Pedals as hard as he can down to this big 100-foot gap.
You can see how much they're pulling to make it over.
Making sure of it, you've got to. Jumps into that berm there.
And carrying way more speed into these berms now than they were last year because of those big jumps.
Yeah.
Which will make, the whole next section harder.
And this is where VIGE had a massive one last year and actually tumbled off the side about there. Yeah, that's right. So cleanly through there this time. It is bone dry this year. Looks good in there. Road gap for VIGE, no problem. And the metal ramp's been replaced with that steeper one because obviously they go higher, they can have a shorter gap. The slacker ramp they had there last year was faster, and it was hard for the riders then to land and scrub the speed off before that step down.
And that's probably why you see a few of them just tagging that pad on the top, because it actually helps you scrub off that speed. Dan and the dig crew have been swapping the ramps around. They store them at W Bike Park, and they've been driving up and down swapping ramps for weeks.
Have they really? Yeah. So, out of the last cannon then. It's another few pedals in VIGE. A lot of riders not bothering this year with that faster entrance to this last straight. Paye's 237, still leading. VIGE goes third. Well, he did backflip halfway down, so we'll let him off.
There needs to be a separate column for the tricks.
Yeah, they're really,
Oh, the relief, huge.
Well, that's right.
It was a smooth crash. He just had he came in hot to this outside rut, and it almost caught him a little bit. So you see the riders that are going high, it might be slower entry, but you come out with more speed, I think. And that drop we see has had a bit of a ladder put on it over the last few years.
See his front push though when he came onto the rock there, which caused him to have that dab on the outside. It's tricky, really slipped around in that top wood. And look at this.
Barrel rolled off.
Oh.
that was all right.
Yeah, big off axis
I'd be pleased with that.
For him.
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
I think, I remember seeing him do that last year or the year before.
Yeah, he did it a couple of years ago.
And no one really knew that he could throw backflips. He just did it kind of
He is some rider, Gaetan VIGE. We know him from World Cup racing races.
Yeah, exactly.
Why, but outside of that, yeah, he's
cool,
loose.
Yeah, you don't sort of expect it.